Welcome to the Rogue Sun podcast. This is a show about Rogue Sun by Ryan Parrott and Abel. But today we're going to be talking about The Infernals, a comic book by Noah Gardner, Ryan Parrott, John Pearson, and Hassan Osman Al-How. I'm joined today by my friends and my fellow hosts, Charlie and Matt. How you guys doing?
I'm doing well. Very well actually. My favorite book of this year is back, or one of my favorite books for sure. This thing's fantastic. Been doing good. Went down to Cleveland for a trip. It's playoff time for basketball. So just been into that. They won game one. I've been down there I've been to 10 live games. They've lost 9 in a row. That was the only time I've seen them win live. So it was a nice spot to end. But yeah, it's been fun. Can't wait to get into this book. We got Moon Man, got some new stuff this week. But yeah, can't wait to get into this. How are you doing, Matt?
Yeah, I'm doing great. The Infernal Boys are back, and we're talking issue 3. I'm doing pretty good. It's been a wild week here. It's a little whirlwind, so it's nice to center myself with some massive verse adjacent content. How have you been, Bash?
I'm good. Yeah, like Charlie said, very excited to talk about this book. One of the best books of 2024 for sure. And yeah, I'm honestly it comes out on time, so that's a bonus these days. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it, guys. So the credits for this issue. Forgive me, I forgot one person to credit in this issue. We've got who's not mentioned on the website. It's only inside the issue. We've got color assist by Lola Bonato. So that's another name we want to mention there. I just want to say this cover A right there, you can see it like
in the background.
me. Yeah, that cover A is fantastic, man. John Pearson's really killing it, and I just really like these covers. I like the focus, and when you think about the fact that each issue is told recently in this first arc through the perspective of a different son, I think it adds to the bonus. I love Mr. Saturday and Miss Mr. Saturday
Miss
and Miss Sunday, right?
It doesn't matter for one of them anymore, but yeah.
Yeah.
They were great. They were creepy as hell coming in last issue, but the names made them even like, I don't know, just better for some reason. Like that, I love the names. But yeah, we had some crazy shit this issue. Yeah, I love like we kind of we get like each one character per issue. I have a feeling Baphomet's issue is going to be absolutely just batshit crazy. I can't wait for that. But Jackal, man, like Nero, we kind of got into him. He was a super interesting character, and I had my suspicions about Jackal, but man, he's a very interesting character, and I feel like we still have just kind of touched the tip of the like iceberg of his character and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great getting to learn more about him.
Hell of an issue for sure. Like Jackal, it was nice to get that perspective, and he's a jackal of all trades with the shapeshifting, and there's a lot of clever uses for that.
Yep.
Yeah, can't wait.
Cool cover to imitate that. Yeah, kind of the shape shifting on the cover. But yeah, it's cool. We didn't really know. I'm not sure if we knew his powers before this, but just getting to know like all the identities and him not really knowing himself. It's super interesting character.
Yeah,
this is the most Department of Truthy cover as well for me. Not a bad
awesome
thing.
Cover. Oh no, awesome cover. I loved it. Like I said, love the little details there in the windows. In the glasses. And yeah, I mean, we're going to dive right into this issue, but I do want to say we do have one variant for this issue, and it's this awesome variant right here done by Sam Wolf Connolly. Perhaps this gives us a little foreshadowing into the future character development of Jackal. He looks really, for someone who's been really on the lighter side of hell, I would say so far, this is very dark. So, yeah.
Yeah. I liked how we started off learning about the perspective of Jackal. Like, he doesn't want in at all, which is great because last issue we're like, all right, well, Abe's going to pick him. Or he seemed like the front runner, but Jackal not wanting it, and the way they took it, I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think this is his true form, I guess, like you would say, like Jackal's true form? Because I remember like in issue 1, we get that like the shot like of them at the dinner table, and then it has the reflection underneath, and it has them all with their horns and everything. I'm wondering if that's kind of their true forms. These are more their human forms they're taking.
I think it's like an episode of Lost, bro. There's like fuckery afoot everywhere. You know what I mean?
Well, later on,
that is very true.
Later we have like Sam talking about like, are you siding with the human? So I mean, these are humans. So I mean, even though they are demons, I don't know how much of it we consider them human. So that's an interesting thing to think about going forward.
Yeah, no, that's also very true.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the covers, guys. That's the cover A right here by John Pearson, and that's the cover B by Sam Wolf Conley. Make sure you pick them up. Awesome stuff. And yeah, so obviously we don't have pictures for you guys this episode, pictures of certain shots, unfortunately. Maybe I can show off some from the book, but yeah, we just haven't been able. I didn't pick up a digital copy this time around because I got the physical thing. So unfortunately, I don't have anything to share. But let's dive into the book. Let's talk about it. So issue 3, we left last issue on a cliffhanger. What was the cliffhanger? They were leaving the building, trying to escape with the
with Rain Driscoll
Jesus.
there.
Yeah, but what's the word with crypto Jesus? Is that
Rain? Yeah.
Yeah, so they leave with him, and then they're stopped by Mr. Saturday and Miss Sunday. So really awesome cliffhanger, and we're picking up from there. And I just want to say one thing you were talking about, Matt, earlier that I agree with even more is like Department of Truthy, but also like not necessarily unique to Department of Truth, but I see that a lot in that book is like that book because it's taking on different phenomena every issue. So for example, the issue where they're chasing like the Bigfoot like phenomena sort of thing, the letters, like there's a different sort of lettering technique. And here I really like that you have right off the bat a different kind of lettering technique for Jackal's reflection, for his like inner dialogue. I like the balance, like it's almost like it's like a balance, black and white. It's not like overly dark or overly light. So this like balance perhaps reflects his character, maybe in his inner conflict, the lettering. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, like I just think that's a really cool way to open the page. And Ryan, when we interviewed him recently, he was talking about how Hassan's lettering really sets the tone for this book in a lot of ways. And I think immediately in this issue, you see it. It's really cool.
Yeah,
good point.
No. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, I'm like this issue especially made me really curious what Abe's up to. Like that guy's just I still don't know really what he's about. Like he seems super bad, and we kind of see glimpses of kind of a lighter side for Abe this issue, which I thought was a really interesting development to his character. But yeah, it kind of makes me wonder like what he's doing. Is he actually picking an heir? But yeah, I just this whole deal with Jackal was just a really cool I don't know, just development in the story. But this like the reflection off the glasses, first off, like he gives him the contract. I just want to say that's one of my favorite shots of the whole issue. Like he's giving him the pen to kind of sign this contract to I don't know, get his soul
Dude, that
back.
was the edgiest way to sign a contract I've ever seen.
Oh
bro.
my god, that
It's
was
not about
so,
no like spitting in your hand or nothing. This is some adult shit right here.
That's how My Chemical Romance signs their record deals. But the contract looks so fucking good. Like I guess we can swear in this because they say a lot of naughty stuff in this. I'm not gonna say half the naughty stuff.
Fair.
But the contract looks so immaculate. The art in this book, like it's hard to call art perfect, but like show me any kind of spot that you could question here because it's pretty damn immaculate.
Look, man, it's on time. It's consistent and beautiful. It's stylized, yet it has like a very comic-y feel. You know what I mean? Because it's painted. And I don't know, man. It's incredible. Like it really, like you guys said, it manages to still be dynamic despite being painted. Which we know a lot of painted comic art sometimes takes the risk of being a little bit static. But no, we don't have that issue here. And I love, man. I don't know if they're like really into this kind of like storytelling of like reflections and story glasses and things like that. I really like this that sort of storytelling where you can see it gives you a different way of looking at the moment, but also still capturing the intensity. It's awesome.
Yes. Sure. The faces of like Abe alone in this panel too, like the page before, like it's just so prominent. He's like, "Oh, make a deal!" Like there's so much going on, and it's so well done. Like Abe and everyone got some good development. Well, not everybody, but like Jackal and Abe in particular had a lot of cool stuff happening to them that I want to talk about later on.
And I love how just to like Jackal, he signs the thing and just something about it, he knows it's not right. Like he just gave in and says, for a moment, I give in to my most deceptive impulse, and he signs the contract. That's going to have big ramifications later too. It's it's super interesting. He's probably my favorite character, I'd say of the bunch.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what the mission, we got more backstory on that and the why that was so important to Jackal to get Rain out of there or whatever they want to do, or convince Rain, because he can get his freedom, quote unquote. We don't know if Abe will give it to him, but that is what Jackal desires most, is just like a mortal life and just getting out of there. I don't know if it's more to life, but getting the hell out of there at the very least.
But man, did these Saturday and Sunday guys start an absolute bloodbath. Just crazy. What did you guys think of this action here? Yeah, you said how dynamic it is for the and we were excited to see this action. Like, we didn't really see too much. We saw kind of the taking over the mines and stuff. We didn't see any really action like to this extent. Fantastic in my opinion. But what did you guys think?
Yeah, I love that. I love the colors as well. The oranges, like, very beautiful.
All the fire. Yeah, all the fire. Yeah. No, totally agreed. And I love the fire. The fire handcuffs are still on there. They kind of they stay true to that. Baphomet's powers. I'm really curious about them. Fire. I'm not sure. She's like maybe I don't know, controls something of the dead, but I was actually, and after reading this issue, I noticed one thing in particular was we've never seen her eyes. She's the only character you've never seen her eyes in any single panel there. And then kind of in the kind of skipping on, but the preview for next, you see her eyes are just pitch black. So I don't know what's going on with her, but yeah, she's a super cool character. But I love how subtly they do it, because sometimes they shade the other character's eyes when they're in certain situations, but Baphomet's, they've done it every single time.
Do you think is a good touch. Each kid has like one power set? Like B has like fire, and then Jackal has shapeshifting, and Nero has his manipulation powers.
Yeah,
that could be. Yeah, very very different things. Yeah, no, that could be. And maybe Abe just wants them to get along a little better and want them all to run this thing. Who knows? But
so it's Miss Saturday and Mr. Sunday. So just like corrected myself. But yeah, I do like how they know when to like fight and when to run, because they're just like, okay, let's just book it. Like, there's no way we're gonna like take these guys on the game with weapons and shit. But I do like that one of them's always got a plan, and I think that's part of the characteristics that they're trying to show us for Jackal, is that here, like, even though he has to improvise, like, he's already thinking about what to do. And that's where we find out here in the next page, as Miss Saturday and Mr. Sunday think that they've captured all of them, that they're about to kill them. They say the hour of judgment is at hand. Let us deliver these wretched souls to their. And then that's when Mr. Sunday literally just turns and friggin' whacks the head like right off. I love the like shunk, like
with the Morgenstern.
So Jesus, brutal. I didn't see that coming like at all. I was confused, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Jackal." Then I realized, like in that panel where they show him like transforming halfway through, that's awesome stuff.
It's almost like a different art style in a way, like the way it's colored. That one shot.
It's the outlines. It's the outlines.
Yes.
Right, because we haven't seen outlines in the series yet. It almost looks like Ice Cream Man or something.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought of. I was like, this reminds me of Ice Cream Man.
It's very distinct, but it is a jarring moment. So of course the art started looking a bit different, because there's no background whatsoever too. So it's you got to do it that way, I guess.
Yeah. But I guess he can shapeshift into like more divine entities too. That's kind of what that confirms. Like he can't just like shapeshift into like just normal people. It seems like he can shapeshift into a little more than that too. So
replicate the light in the eye, cool. Which seems to at least replicate the look of powers.
Yeah.
I like the background at the bottom of that page too. Like when they're like carrying off the body and the head in the fire. Like the fire looks so damn good. And so these are the disciples of Azazel, right? Like the devil, or okay.
And it's interesting. We're gonna say. I'm just gonna say I like how he just says, "Oh, nut up, Zuckerberg." Sorry, like to the kid that they have, because they're just carrying the kid hostage the whole time. But the next page, we're back at the bed, and I just wanted to say, like, I was really looking forward to this conversation, because I feel like we had one cliffhanger, which is the action cliffhanger, and everyone was excited. But like I said, there's always like fuckery afoot in this series. It's like, they're always setting up little crumbs here and there, little subplots. And I think this is one of them, which is like with the wife we saw last issue with, what's her name? Is it like Olivia or something like that? I forget her name.
I'm pretty sure it's Olivia.
Yeah. So his wife, his current wife, his second wife, I'm assuming, or whatever, his current wife was. I don't know how many wives he's had. She's pretty hurt, not because of all the bullshit he's done or who he is, but the fact that he lied to her. And I think this is a really good way to show like how nuanced Abe is as a character, because you're seeing like at the same time he's just like a wretched piece of shit, but he's also like actually changed. Like you can see it. You can
I
see
wasn't
him eat
expecting this. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to care this much about him, or I don't know. I think we're gonna get some good development out of him, but yeah, it really seems like he's not kind of the man he was made to be, or like he does have a lighter side to him, which
it's like he's just taking up the position of the devil on earth because he has to, and someone has to
because
do
that
it,
was
right?
his
Like,
job, right?
and he's kind of learned.
Or maybe he's like Omni-Man style. He got soft because of these damn humans, you know, these cute little cuddly humans. You
I
know?
like that. I like that actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, meeting someone like her, like we've seen what his old wife was like, and the people he used to marry.
She literally
Was
sucks the life out of people.
Yeah, so I guess maybe he used to be more attracted to that kind and came on Earth, and saw some more kindly options.
He's
Maybe
he's into a whole different kind of sucking right now. Is what you're saying.
I was gonna say, but we learned that she can like blow the life back into you, right? So she can actually bring you back to life as well, which is interesting. But no, that is actually an element. That was the best. We'll talk about it when we get there. But like Abe could have really gone to the dark side and really prolonged his life, but I think he's really just fed up with this shit and kind of just wants to move on.
Yeah, man, I know everything in this book looks super good, but like that flower, I don't know if you guys are on that page, but like the flower, he's holding up that flower and it's like, I don't know, it's like glowing off it. Like,
It's
man,
almost like on fire.
I stared at that for a good like couple minutes at least, like going through this book. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that was insane.
Like the artwork is it's amazing. We've talked about a lot of amazing looking books in this series, and this is up there with all of them. Like, you know,
it's so different, right? It's so like we've talked about how good Infernal Girl Red looks. Like it's just a completely different take, and it's I love it.
There's a lot of subtle things
fits.
too. Like here you can see the panels are outlined with red. I think that's really subtle, but it really adds to the
good catch.
Emotion of the scenes. Yeah, no, it's a really well made book, and honestly, like you guys said, I think it's up there with all. I think what's most important about art, in my opinion, personally, as a reader, is like you don't want just artwork that's beautiful, because that's fantastic, but you want beautiful artwork that makes sense for what you're reading.
Yeah, and flows.
You know what I mean? And this is like perfect. Like he keeps saying Department of Truth, because that book is also, it's evocative, it's atmospheric, it's like a deep thinker kind of book. There's a lot of plot and subplot, and I think this book is very similar in that sense. Like in terms of, it's a meaty book, you're getting a lot. There's a lot of things explored. There's really cool deep things being explored. It's familiar yet different. So I really love that. I love that we have.
It feels like reading an HBO show or something. Like it's really well done.
Yeah,
like
that's
you can feel it being made, and I hope that it does get adapted to screen one day, because like we've already got really amazing characters going, and we've got something here now. It's been a pleasure so far.
Yeah,
we should do a fan cast after the first arc.
Just I would be into that. I would definitely be into that.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun to do.
That would be a fun one. That would be a fun one.
Yeah, sure. I'd be open to that for sure. But yeah, so we get Sam's full name here too. Sam's having a bit of conflict again in this issue, and it's not going well, because he gets summoned. Right, he gets like portal, he gets pulled into hell, and has a meeting with Azrael. And we learn his full name isn't. I thought it was Samuel, but it's, I guess, Samael, right? Because it's Samael.
Samael. Yeah, not Samuel. Samael.
I might have to do some satanic research after this. My Google search history is going to be
dude. The pages with Samael, like the pages of him just walking around and then getting sucked into like hell or whatever. Dude, that's some of the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I know. Like
straight up.
Yeah, this meeting in hell. Like I don't know. It looks like they're in like a little glass box in hell. Like I don't even know. It looks.
Dude, they made Azrael so fucking scary. Like he looks terrifying. Like it's genuinely off-putting when you look at him.
Definitely. And just the lighting effects and like the use of like white too in the eyes, and just highlighting the fur on Sam, it looks amazing. And like we're not slowing down here. We've got the lady from the first episode, the first issue. I said episode because it feels like such a movie there. Who is like who is like pitching the first issue. So we're all moving on at like a really good pace. Everything's like weaving together in such a way that I don't feel like we're wasting any time. We're getting into it. And it's been good.
Yeah, we got our answers kind of. Our questions answered here with Evelyn Endo, right? Evelyn Endo was her name. Yeah, our buddy here. Down with Down with Azrael. And yeah, I remember you had the question, were they the ones who sent Miss Saturday and Miss Sunday? I still like that. I still, that's kind of my headcanon right now. But yeah, I love that. She's just down here chilling. Like she just I don't know. She's in her space right now. Like she belongs here. It's kind of creepy, but yeah, she's loving it down here. And she just wants revenge, it seems. It's kind of like she just wants revenge.
Dude, she
She's
got him
crazy.
like real bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
when
she's
he was
nuts,
like,
man.
I can't do anything, I'm bound by infernal law. And then she was like, no. And then it ends with Israel with that close-up shot of his face. He's just like, whom do you serve? And he's like, I serve the Dark Prince.
Yeah, that I loved, like getting to learn like what like the infernal law is, like what that mostly is. And I guess like the infernals, a lot of them just mean servants, like all of them, it's the same thing. Like they're all just servants.
That moment is goated, like
love it.
literally.
Yeah, it's like a dictatorship.
So good.
Don't wait up for a union. The go to when Sam's just like burning alive to that panel where you're just like, like it's so
the
intense.
lettering's going off here. Like it's changing size like crazy, like going up and down, like just like you can hear their voices raising, lowering. It's like you
I
said,
love the
it's
little
so
like job of the looking bug on his shoulder, just like talking to. It's just like adding insult to injury. You know what I mean? It's just like making things worse. This is like, it's really like sometimes with series like this, I'm always concerned about like when you jump from moment to moment, like are you going to lose the momentum of the previous moment? I actually think for me, from personally, when I'm reading this, each moment kept me even like closer on to the edge of my seat because it was so much more like tense. It was like, okay, what's happening here? Oh my God, now we have to go back to this. So it was really exciting. And so we go back to now the family again, who we see they found some sort of temporary escape. They're chilling in some apartment and saying the mission's fucked. And I had to actually like put a note to bring this up during the show specifically. I don't know who wrote this particular bit of dialogue, but whoever it is, give yourself a pat on the back because I actually laughed my ass off so much. It says, "I'm talking truck stop glory hole with a bukkake finish fucked." Like, dude, that is one of the greatest lines of dialogue ever written. I'm just saying, like,
it's visceral. It's visceral.
When they do,
I don't know what any of those things are, so I can't comment. But
No,
I'm
me
sure it's
neither.
funny.
100%.
No,
But when they do the
good.
show, someone has to deliver that with love. You know what I'm saying? They have to do it right because I'm gonna be
no,
waiting for that moment.
some of it's cracking me. Like even the first like there was the first line here, like it kind of just describing Saturday and Sunday, and they're like, who are these guys? Like did we piss off the Jehovah's Witness or something? Like just little lines like that. I love that. Fuckers have killed, like apparently these guys have killed like 5 popes. Question is, who do they want to kill? But yeah, so some of the dialogue is just so organic. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It is.
It's not just John
great.
and Lola providing the rich imagery here. Ryan and Noah teaming in.
Oh,
And also, I do want to say this is still different than Rogue Sun. So different. It's similar themes of like passing down lineage, and there's like fiery themes, but it's like you don't feel like they're stepping on each other's footprints or feet here.
That's totally true. I remember the first issue. I was kind of thinking that like it's very supernatural. Like it's the hand me down. Even Ryan was saying how similar the similarities of it. But I haven't even had that thought in the last couple issues. But
so Rogue Sun and Infernals crossover when? That's what I'm saying.
It would fit too. It would totally fit.
Like, don't make me dream. Don't make me dream. You know.
If we did like a one-off, non-canon little story, like But anyways.
That'd be
amazing. That'd be great. Even if we see like Azrael or like one of those entities, that would be great. Maybe one day.
You guys notice this moment where like Nero's trying to pry and he's like, "What's the deal? Like, what are you trying to? What's your game? What's your angle? Because you're always doing something." And he's like, "It's not my game. It's not a game. It's my fucking life." You see how like in that really intense moment, like the background's all red, and then the next moment it's white. He has like that like Pokemon, like like whoa, dude,
sense of awareness. He's like, fuck.
Dude, that is like I
so
love
good.
that panel right there. I feel like that's those are the moments. Those are like the succession moments where you're like, oh, the game just changed. Like when you're playing. Playing like an RPG and you have to like you have to choose what dialogue is gonna produce a certain outcome. and then you like the outcome that's presented just shocks you, and you're like, okay, how am I going to approach this now? And that's literally what just happened with Nero now. He's just like, I've been presented with new information.
You're trying to get this to work, and like Nero's been involved with his whole like life, and he's just trying to get this to work so he can get the hell out of it, because he's been burdened with Nero for who knows how long. And yeah, he's just it's like, this is super important to me. I haven't said why it's important to me, but yeah, it's my fucking life. And then we get a reveal of Rain Driscoll's potential powers, or that the soul is secure so that they can't cast any spell, or
this
that
guy, bro. Yeah.
How cool is that? How cool is that? Like, man, like fuck, like
he
the pattern in the eye.
like Dr. Faded their ass. Bro.
Yeah, I've got the Uno reverse card. Anything you want to do.
Yeah, you do it, and you're gonna turn into a pile of ash. Basically, you'll be instantly vaporized, and your soul will be detonated across time and space. It doesn't sound very. Yeah.
Do you think this
probably shouldn't cast a spell?
Do you think that he can do it, or are those just some dope contacts? And he's just.
No.
Yeah, I'll believe him on this one. I wouldn't risk it.
We saw the meeting with the angels, so
he's been too calm the whole time. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, his eyes look too creepy for me to even try anything. Like it's creepy. Like this guy's he's a creepy dude. Like I don't know. It's weird. Like he's on the side of the angels, but I find like he's kind of the more creepy one, and kind of the more evil one, which is kind of like depicted in this, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
as well.
I agree.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love how Jackal just bounces. He's just like, I'm out.
Peace.
He just literally walks. No words, like nothing. He's just like, I'm done here.
Yeah, I love that, and they've made the plan where it's basically Jackal just wants to go on TV and kind of set things right, shapeshift into Rain Driscoll, and kind of just set things right here. So yeah, just quick plan. Like you said, the guy's a problem solver. He's done this before. He's been on so many missions. Like he's definitely a big problem solver of just shifting into people and able to do things like that. But yeah, I love his plan. He's actually able to execute it. Executed actually.
I love how it's so business minded too. It's like, well, this company's not paying me well. I'm gonna go to this company. It's like Apple and Android, except you're working with like angels and demons. I like that. It's a cool theming.
Yeah. We were recently talking about, like, for example, like on Ultimate Spider-Man, like Marco Cacchetto, like not being able to do like 4 issues in a row of the artworks, and we don't know what reason that is, but we're saying like these days, like if you're a really good artist and you hone your craft well enough, not just from a grinding point of view or an efficiency point of view, but also from a conceptual or like point of view in terms of like what you're trying to put on paper and what your process is. Like you see, there's a lot of use of silhouettes. Like on the next page here, we go back to Abe in the house, and there's a lot of silhouettes. And I imagine like that helps people like John Pearson, who have a very detailed style of artwork where they need more breaks. Imagine like you can't do that 100% of every page of every panel. Maybe sometimes you need a little bit of relief, so you could just do a silhouette here, silhouette there. It's a lot easier, I imagine, than doing the whole thing. Maybe, I don't know, but I imagine like I'm thinking like that makes sense. But that's also a really clever way, like storytelling device and way to hone your craft. Like we've talked about how certain artists, you know what I mean? Like they use
never thought of it that way. It's kind of like to less of an extent. It's kind of like the Invincible episode, right? Like
exactly
even the animation, like their heads
are
are turned. Like they talk behind, so they don't show their mouths. They don't have to pay for that kind of animation. But yeah, it's super smart and it fits too. Like it still looks super cool and
it looks amazing. Yeah, you don't really notice.
Yeah, it's not really out of place because he does it so often and in such cool spots. It's not really just it doesn't stick out or anything.
It works as a storytelling device for this kind of story. I think that's where you're like, when you're really smart, you hone your craft and you're like, I know that I can pull this off, and it won't only just be like this, but it'll look good and make sense too. And I think that's like the masterfulness of this kind of level of craft and approach. It's like you can really tell like every detail has so much love. Like you look at the detail where we zoom in close on Abe's face and he's like coughing. He's like, the hell are you talking about? You can see all the little like droplets on his face from the rain and everything, or maybe that's just how it is in the background, but it just looks awesome. I don't know. I love it. Like I love how you can see every wrinkle on his face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they save it when they just have like the single color for like the end of the page, kind of. I've noticed, at least in this issue. So it's kind of like you're focused on them and it shows how diametrically opposed they are. It just separates you from your surroundings and just these two characters, usually either, trying to get the idea across what they're talking about. So I do appreciate it. And it doesn't feel like it's tacked on. Like, even though it's way less detail than 90% of the page, like it's just fits in. It's a good choice.
Yeah. crazy revelation here, kind of by Abe,
Lilith?
but Lilith too. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, she has the ability to cure him, and that's the real reason, I guess, she's actually came back for this time. She wants to get back together. She wants to marry him, settle down. She misses good old Abe. So yeah, that's I thought that was hilarious, but I could cure you if you would only let me. But you have to like get back together and marry me again.
Yeah.
I love it. She's so crazy. Like, it even shows on her
Mhm.
face. She's absolutely
Yeah.
nuts, and
Unhinged.
she's great.
Yeah.
She's so great.
Yeah. He's really in it with Olivia. Like he could live longer and stuff like that. He could even say like, "Hey, Olivia, we could have like a sham marriage. I can come back. I can see you on the side or something like that." I don't know if that's on the table. You probably can't do that with Lilith there. I imagine she has spies
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and that wouldn't work anyways. But no, I mean it's really interesting saying no. I'm going to turn away eternal life. So that doesn't sound like something the devil would do to me. So that's
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, for sure. And you kind of like, Olivia was questioning like why the apocalypse hasn't happened yet. But I love this. Like Lilith says, name one thing that girl can't, like this nice girl can't give, or can give you, that I can't give you. And he says,
Yes.
oh, basically a heart, a soul, someone, basically a nice person. And she says, no
Yeah.
wonder the apocalypse never happened. Which I
Yeah.
think just proves it there, that really showed like he I don't know if he changed his way of thinking, but he kind of, it seems like he has a little bit.
Yeah.
He's had some progression on Earth, and he's had a change of heart. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's super cool.
You know, the next page where we see
The
like
tower.
Jackal going back, and then you see the tower, and there's these really white panels because they're inside of this like angelic space, or like,
They're in
heaven-based
heaven,
space.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, I do want to say,
heaven
because
front
first of
gates,
all, you know how like Batman the animated series is shot, like the animation's done against that like
black.
black background paper.
Yeah.
I think them doing that for the most part here, having like the comic be against a black background paper, so that the overwhelming majority of like the negative space, with the exception of like border panel choices, being black. I think that makes those moments like pop so much more. And in a book like this, where like there's that heaven association with the,
Yeah.
with those themes, I think that works so well. Like
Oh
when you
yeah.
see him walk into that white room, it just took me back, not in terms of association of
That's a great
theme, but in
point.
terms of impact. It took me back to like Invincible, when they like use that clever negative space
Yes,
to
Yeah.
like be
yes.
like, this is a white room. But
We've
here
never
it has
seen
so much more impact. It's like,
We've
That's
never seen Jack on the light. He looks jarring himself standing on the white. It's not the white background; it's him in it for me, and it
yeah,
just shows the dichotomy between
that's fair.
the
Yeah.
darkness of the demonic kind of hangout with the Morgensterns and this. Like, and Gabriel looked amazing. Just it is jarring to see him there, and obviously just Gabriel at the desk, like chilling, like Angelmon there from
Yeah.
Digimon reference there. But yeah,
No, honestly, I haven't thought much about like them using a black backdrop of with it, but yeah, it does make a lot of sense, and it is super cool. Yeah, I do many comics do that? Do you know like you know better than I do, but you do.
not like it's not like a majority, but there's a few comics that do it. Like
There's a
the
few
ones like
comics.
this where it makes sense. I think like Rogue Sun does it, doesn't it? Rogue Sun does it, where it's like mostly like the negative space is mostly black for the most part. I'm
we'll
pretty
have
sure.
to
Okay.
find
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
There's a
But that's
question.
wild.
yeah,
There's a question to add to your
yeah.
list.
Did you guys think
Ryan.
Jack would flip? I didn't see any of the kids flipping this early. I know they're the sons of the devil and daughters of the devil, but like I did not see
I,
them
I,
flipping, not this
I
early.
don't know what his play is here, because like, yeah, we
Yeah, I
see
don't
him go
know.
to heaven, right? And he says, I have a plan. And he's like, do you want to make a deal? And he sees Gabriel, which I thought was a really cool. I wanted to like post that on my story, but I didn't want to spoil it here.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So cool.
but that was like, see, like this is what I'm talking about, where you have like these overwhelmingly white
Yeah.
pages afterwards. It feels like it really adds that depth to the story, because now
Yeah.
it feels like, there's a change in the balance and the flow of
Even
the
the
story.
gold word
Yeah,
bubbles for the
yeah,
angel, and just making him
Yeah.
feel very divine and everything. It's
yeah.
very well
Yeah.
done.
So Jackal takes the form of Rain Driscoll here and goes on as planned. I guess is going to reveal the software that we talked about in the last issue, or is ramping up to it. So I thought this was
Mhm.
a really interesting twist, and it
You
could
think
go
he's gonna
anywhere.
reveal it? You think he's gonna reveal it? See,
Honestly, I have no idea. I think he's like Jackal. Like we said, he always has a plan. So I want to see what's his plan
yeah,
here.
this is what I don't know. I know I believe it was last issue, he was trying to get Ranger Skull to basically prolong it. He said, make the
Yeah.
world come to more of a crapshoot, and then like kind of put it in and be their savior. So I don't know if that was just kind of a plan to do that, or if he actually, I couldn't see him actually wanting the Earth to be coming to an apocalypse. I think he's done too much. He's experienced too much to just, I don't know, say fuck and just screw Earth. It can go die, but could be wrong.
This could temporarily be to satiate the angels too until they think of a plan or get more leverage, and then he could eventually just get his freedom with Morgenstern there. So there's a lot of ways you could play this, and this issue, like I've been loving the series so far, and this really added a lot of juice here to the story where things can go and like the layers, and they're killing it. I'm loving this.
Are you guys super hyped for Baphomet's issue, like next issue?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, man, I was so excited.
Just seeing the next, with the black eyes makes me really just like, what is her character? I'm curious.
Same month as the return of Rogue Sun as well.
I want them to show. I want them to explain that and to actually zoom up on her eyes and see like why haven't we seen her eyes yet? I don't know why that's such a big question for me. But
she could stare in your eyes and like turn you to stone or something, though. Who knows what she can do?
Yeah, she is very no, for sure. She does give off that vibe, 100%. But there's also a lot of dead people under her, kind of walking. So I'm not sure. Does she have the ability to speak to the dead, to revive the dead, to do these things? I'm not really sure, but I'm excited to find out. That's for sure. But I'm curious what deal Jackal made. Because these gods kind of seemed like they were siding with Rain Driscoll pretty hard, and then it's just kind of like, okay, we're just going to betray him. I don't know if it's that easy. We know the last time Jackal made a deal, obviously with Abe, he regretted it big time. So I'm wondering if it's kind of the same thing here. Wonder what he's going to have to sacrifice and whatnot. But man, killer issue. Jackal's favorite character thus far.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, 100%. Killer team, killer issue. Like I love this series. The Massiveverse and the creators that we've like discovered through that have really done some special books. And like I'm saying, like we've been lucky. Like these last 3 or 4 years, like we're gonna look back and read these books for forever, really, until we go blind. So I'm just thankful, and it's so lucky that we start these podcasts and these guys just keep hitting out of the park consistently, and it's just been an absolute joy.
Yeah, it makes it fun to talk about.
Sorry, the only thing I want is and I don't know if you guys have yet to find it, but I've been looking for, I've been trying to see more work of John Pearson's. I've been like looking back to see
Department of Truth number 14. He did that.
Number 14. Okay. I haven't even read Department of Truth. So.
He did a few other things I saw.
I saw a few other things. It didn't seem like he had a very like a long running series or anything. Like he didn't he would kill showed up for more issues. It seems like this might be his most consistent title in a while. But he
would kill a Constantine book.
I was thinking that like a Hellraiser. Constantine
would murder that book.
Fuck yeah. Oh my gosh.
Swamp Thing in that style would be cool too. I'd like to see what he can do with foliage.
Honestly, like even Justice League Dark, like seeing his work on Justice League Dark, like I would throw money at that.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a bright future. Killer artwork here. Luxury Riches. It's Embarrassment of Riches. I'd say this issue's like a 9.2 for me. Like great stuff.
Yeah,
I definitely say something in the range of that myself. Definitely in the 9s. Yeah, I think he's done something in the Razor Blade by that Tynan, that book, our book.
There was something mentioned in the back. He did a short story. And then
Mindset he did, I think, and then he did something in Pantera, and then one of those books, and then
Mindset, The Ride. He drew called The Ride. Lettered a short story for John. He wrote and drew a short story called The Ride for Razor Blades anthology that Steve Fox and James Tynion did over the pandemic as well. So I'm definitely gonna check out the Ride one. That's cool. So he wrote that as well. I'm curious about that, and same letterer too. So
he would also kill it on Sandman. Like if he drew Sandman, like he would kill it on something like that.
Any type of those, like crazy supernatural, man. 100%.
But I could also see him doing like a normal book, like a very cool like assassin book or something like that, like an action book. I think it would work.
I would love that because that's something. It seems like everything I've seen is more this style from him.
Like if he drew an issue of No One, it would probably be the best issue of No One drawn, in my opinion, because it would be completely different. He would probably like do it really abstract. Like it would be so cool.
Yeah, I honestly, I think that might I don't know. that would like change the story, I think, in a way like where like I don't know if it would just be like way beyond it would be just so different from Geraldo, I think. Like that's something you would maybe have to
Yeah.
do before
Thinking like
now that
2000 AD style, you know?
yeah, but if you
Yeah.
did a no one story with him drawing the whole thing, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, one last thing is they included this really cool thing called the process, and it's the lettering list from Hassan Atman al-Haw's newsletter, and he just talks about his lettering process. And I thought it was extremely insightful. I thought it was really cool, especially to get like insight from one of the best letterers in the business. I highly recommend checking it out if you picked up the issue. It was so cool, like hearing how he comes up with these things. Very creative.
I'd say this book is the closest thing we've been getting to like just like for Firepower fans like the RC Coda, like just the insight on the creation process. We get that every issue. Get some cool pinups after every issue. What is this second pinup? I was laughing at this thing. I love it. It's like a very, I don't know if you guys saw this. It's like
I
the
love
last page. It's a very, very cartoonish. I I love this style, but yeah, like who did this thing? I was
it almost seemed like a shit post. Like I'm not like it's cool, but it's like so jarring.
It does. It's
cool.
jarring. Yes, it was jarring for a bit, but I'm like, it's very cool.
Yeah. So honestly, another fantastic issue. I think Infernals is just getting better and better. To be honest with you guys, I think it's marinating, it's cooking well. Each issue gets better and better. So I'm really excited for what comes next. I'll definitely like keeping this on the pull list. It was like I ran to my comic shop to pick it up this week. We even posted it on the Rogue Sun podcast Twitter. Posted it out today. Go pick it up, guys. Noah Gardner, Ryan Parrott, John Pearson, and Hassan Atman al-Hal, and of course Lola Benato color assists. Guys, they're killing it on this book. Please check it out. Please read it. And of course, if you're excited, the next issue comes out in May, Infernals number 4. And then, of course, Rogue Sun returns with Rogue Sun number 19 in May. FOC this Monday. Guys, everyone, including my boys here on the show, listen to this. Got the cover A by the amazing Kelly McMahon. You're going to want that, of course. But then the cover B by Tom Whalen.
This is the flip book, right? This is the flip book?
Yeah, the flip book. Yeah, but the cover B by Tom Whalen, those helmet variants. Guys.
Oh, yes.
Issue 19 of an indie series. It's not gonna be easy to find. Make sure you get those pre-orders if you want that variant. Okay, please. I'm ordering like 2 or 3. Okay, so get those covers in there. Get those pre-orders in there. Get your Infernals orders in there. You guys saw the next issue is focused on Baphomet, and please like and subscribe to the show. Check out our other show if you want to see more massive verse related content called the Radiant Black podcast. We talk about Radiant Black, and that's pretty much it. Anything else you guys want to add before we get on over to hell here?
No.
Yeah, good for me. Just can't wait for what's next. Can't wait to get Rogue Sun back. That flip book, that's gonna be exciting, man. That's gonna be very exciting.
Yeah, guys, it might be time for a letters page for the Infernals. Okay, there we go. We need to send in those fans letters. We need to send that praise in, see what people are saying. I've got lots to say myself personally. I wanted to send a letter in, but I don't know where to send it.
Can it be cheeky like letters to like? I don't know,
that's true.
The 7 deadly.
Do you think they could fit that? Like, is that something?
I don't know.
Is that something they could fit? Do you think, like with doing all the process stuff in the back? Or I guess if they got the letter, they would probably squeeze a page in for it. They would squeeze a page in for it. I'm sure.
It's always good to have a letter section, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
You want to hear
for
what
sure.
Your folks are saying. Plus, this book is so good, guys. I want to see. I see a lot of people like praising it on the social medias.
Oh, it's freaking amazing.
I guarantee if you're actually reading this thing, you're going to be praising it. Like it's one of those books. Like it's just the matter of you have to try it and read it. But like it's such a jarring book. Like even just first opening it, like the art will grab you right away.
Unless you're like hyper religious, I can't see why you wouldn't like enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
anyway.
All right,
guys, check it out. Check out Infernals. We will see you soon for the return of. No one, Radiant Black, all that stuff. Unfortunately, Dead Lucky just ended, but we did just get supermassive news. So if you're looking for more Rogue
Dead
Sun,
Lucky's in that.
Yes, and Dylan. Dylan's finally gonna meet the rest of the gang. So Rogue Sun fans, it's time. It's your time to shine. Anyway,
we haven't really talked about that. I mean, we will not right now, but like
we've got some exciting.
And after C2E2, there'll be some news.
Lots looking forward to.
Yeah, exactly. So we're looking forward to our C2E2 show right after. It's this weekend, right? C2E2. So So after this weekend, we'll have a show summarizing all the C2E2 news on the Radiant Black podcast, and we'll probably cross-post it to the Rogue Sun podcast. So stay tuned for that, guys. So please like and subscribe. Check it out. Check out Infernals, and we'll see you next time. Go Rogue.